Okay, this is our subject for today that we're going to try to repair and colorize and also maybe even enhance. So, first thing we're going to do, we're going to work entirely in NEO, Luminar NEO. And so what we'll do is, well, we'll talk a little bit about the subject first. This photo has been tagged by me, I think after consultation with my sisters, as being Andrew Tullis. Now, we're not absolutely certain that that's who that is, but one thing's for sure, it's an old photo, and probably in the 19th century. So, let's do something about it. Alright, so we'll scroll down to the restoration. And I'm going to do things a little bit differently this time just to show there's another way of doing this. We'll drag that over, and instead of doing a full color and repair all at the same time, just going to repair the scratches. Now when I do this, it's going to take a little while, but we'll be back to it as soon as it's restored. Okay, this has now been put in the restoration directory. Let's have a look at him. And of course, it has eliminated a lot of the garbage there. Now, before I colorize this, I'm going to go to presets. I don't usually use presets a lot, but I've got I got a set of, bought a inexpensive set of presets for restoration from Jacob in England. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look at black and white restoration here. Now the reason I'm doing this, I was going to see, well, maybe we can get the right mood for what we want. And he's got 10 presets. And if you go, and one good thing about it, all you have to do is move your mouse over the 10, and you can get a notion of what looks best to you. I kind of like either the cold platinum or the deep contrast, but I don't want it to be that contrasty. So what I'll do is I'll select him, and I'll bring it down to about here. Okay? So now we've got this guy. Alright, let's go back to the catalog. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the color. So now we'll do the color and restore. And we'll pause this again while it's doing. Okay, it's took about a minute to do that. So let's have a look at it. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and do some editing. Alright, so I think first thing we'll do, we'll just run a noiseless filter over that. And it thinks we're on need a low one, so that's what we'll do. That's good, and you can see it doesn't look too bad. Alright, now we do that, let's go do a develop, and I think we'll just do an auto adjust on that. We've already handled a lot of the contrast that you need to develop in these old photos using the preset. Alright, well that's not, let's just have a look at what that looks like compared to, that's what it was before, and apparently we just overdid doing contrast a bit much, but that looks pretty good. Alright, now let's go to layer properties and see about removing the background. So we'll go to masking, and then we'll do background removal, and that takes a minute or so, so we'll pause and come back to this. So it has identified what it thinks is the main thing here. We probably want to go ahead and remove that. And we've got some stuff there. Actually, we don't. I mean, anyway, you look at it, it's kind of silly there. He's sitting on a chair, and what are we going to do to make that look reasonable? So we'll just revert that to the original, which is this guy here. Let's redo the development, and we'll redo the noise, since these are all pretty quick things. Alright, but we still want to do something to this to make it have a little bit of character to it. We went to all this trouble to get what we thought was a clean image, but it's obviously an old photograph. So let's go back to layer properties, and let's add a layer. And the one I'm going to do is going to be, I've got a set of layers here somewhere. Torn paper. Come on. See if I can find it. Moon overlays. We don't need moon overlays. We can put our own scratches back in. Let's do torn paper. No, not torn paper. Here, we'll do parchment paper. We'll select one of these. I don't care. Let's try that one. Okay. Alright, so there we've got this torn paper over this. Okay, that's fine. Alright, now, what we have to do here is well, there's a couple of things we need to do. Excuse me. Is we need to see what mode we're doing this overlay with. And let's just overlay that. Okay, now let's fiddle with the opacity of this and see how it affects it. So let's put it about there. And basically what we've now done, we've now made it look like an old aged color photograph. And we can actually, if we didn't like this line right there, for example, we can move this out here, and you can see that just by moving that mask around, we can we can put the marks and everything where we want, and if we wanted to, we could even make it big. I mean, we could do any type of texture we wanted over there, but that just gives you an idea of what you can do to do that. Well, that's all good. I think we can save that. So we'll export that, and we'll make that NEO. And so we'll export that. That doesn't take too long usually. Takes a little bit longer when you've got a mask. Okay, so now we're going to go see what we can do with Gemini. Okay, now we're into LM Arena. We're doing the direct chat, and we're using nano-banana for our image massager. So, what do I want to do here? Well, I've already loaded in the picture. That's what I want to work on. And what we're going to say is repair and colorize. And we'll wait a few seconds for that to happen. Well, that took about a minute, which is good, and it doesn't look bad. I think what we're going to do there is we're going to I would like to well, let's just we'll save that. We'll save that image as we'll call that banana. Now, what I'd like to do now is, and this is just to show you what you can do with this, I want to get a little bit fanciful here. So what I want to do is I want to replace the background. Replace background with I would say well, there's a couple things I want to do. First thing I want to do is I want to replace clothing with American Civil War uniform, Confederate uniform. That'd be nice if I could spell. Alright, let's do that, and that's going to take a while to do too, so we'll have a look. Well, it certainly has transformed that picture. Can have a Confederate soldier sitting on a stool. So that's a nice picture. And no doubt about it, our Andrew's getting around. So the next thing that we want to do here is we want to what we'll do is we'll save that as we'll call that banana ACW. Okay. Now, just as a fanciful type of thing, what I want to do is I want to switch. I want to try to turn this into a watercolor, and my past experiences tells me that Seedream 4 typically does a better job than that. So I'll switch to that, and then what we'll say is convert to a watercolor. And it'll take a little while to do that. In fact, Seedream's on more or less the same type of jobs. Usually takes about twice as long as nano-banana. So here's our watercolor, which isn't too bad. Let's have a little bit closer look at it. Not too bad. Since I'm trying to gussy this all up, let's do one other thing, and that is please mount this image in a golden brown frame. Okay, that'll take a while too. So, for some reason that didn't work very well. We'll save the previous image, and we'll save that image as, we'll call that, ACW watercolor SD4. 4. So we'll save that. Alright, well, we've done what we're going to do there. Let's go back to NEO. That's where we were. Let's go back to the catalog, and we'll go to where we're keeping all these guys, and let's have a look what we want to work on. Well, that was the original here. This is the NEO, and I think this watercolor, and this is the one that Banana gave us whenever it asked it to redress him in a Confederate uniform. They went whole hog, put him in a uniform and drafted him. Anyway, the one I want to work on, well, we'll work on two of them. Let's work on this one. This one here is the non-watercolor one. So we'll edit that one. Alright, now I would say that what we want to do there is I think we'll crop it first. We don't need all this stuff over here. Let's make it a free cropping. Yeah, I think that's a better. Let's see. Here's another thing you can do. Let's see what the automatic cropping looks like. Whenever you say, what is it? Well, I don't like that as much. So, anyway, that's one thing. You don't have to do everything automatically. You can take what you think is good. I like that better. So, we've got Andrew reenacting being a civil guy. Well, develop him. Okay, so we'll do an auto adjust, and let's just increase the contrast here, see what it looks like. Yeah, it's okay. Alright, and we may as well do the noiseless thing. That only takes a few seconds because it's pretty small image. Now, one other thing that we probably need to do there is, well, there's a couple things we need to do. We need to, I think we need to put a sky in there. So, let's go in sky, and no, let's put this one, that'll do. It won't take very long. Well, I'll say it won't take. There we go. Well, it's certainly obviously we don't want it going all the way over here. So let's turn on the masking. Get a brush and erase. Let's erase. Come on. Here we go. Now, let's return to what we have there. let's do that. Maybe we need to do the masking first. We'll do the masking. Adjustments, masking. No, the only thing allows us. Oh, we can go there. Let's do object select. And that's the only place we want the sky. Okay, so we'll go there, and now let's put this back in and see how we go. There we go. Okay, so now we have the tent, we have the sky there. Got a little bit. If you wanted to, you go in and clean up. You could go ahead and clean up around his head, the little halo, but we're not going to bother that right now. Is there anything else we want to do here? I'm kind of happy with that. So let's save that as export that to banana ACW NEO. So we'll export that. Alright. Okay, let's go back to the catalog. And let's get this guy up here. Here's our watercolor. Let's have a look at him. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to edit him. Alright, so we can develop him. Alright, put the exposure down, increase the on contrast just a little bit. Alright, let's, we can add a sky to this as well, but we'll have to do something with the sky once we get it. So what we do, let's go on masking first, and let's do object select again. And we want that there, and I think we want that bit up there. Alright, so now let's go back to the adjustments. Oh, we'll put this one in there. I just want kind of a bit of blue in there. Just okay. We'll see what it does. And then we're gonna now see, that's too much it doesn't fit in very well with the kind of the rest of the photo. So what we're going to go down here is we're going to go to the sky adjustments, and what we're going to do is a couple of things. We're going to defocus a bit the clouds in the side, and the other thing we're going to do is we're going to bring down we're going to make it a little bit brighter, so there's not such a clash between the sky and the kind of very light grass down there. Okay, that all looks good enough. Now we got one more thing I want to do here, and that's we'll look at the enhance access beside the sky. What do we want? How much do we want that to stand out? And I think we can increase the accent there, and it makes it better. I mean, we could go down here and be very. I think that's good, that accent. Now let's go back to the layer properties, because what I want to do here is I want to. Well, there's a couple. I want to bring this. Okay, what I want to do is I like to do what I couldn't seem to do very well when I was playing around with banana, to put a border around. Let's take that as our border. Okay, now what we're going to do here. We're going to do this. this down. Guess we're going to have to make this more or less the same. Okay. And we'll pull this out here, and we'll pull it up there. Move it around. We're moving this layer around, okay? And so well, okay, we'll crop it. That's the coward's way out. And we'll put. The sides are no problem, but we don't have enough depth to. Okay. All right. You do all that. Now we'll end up cropping this. So what I'll do is we'll switch it over to here, and then what we'll do is say that's fine, and we'll crop it, and we'll I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it free. Okay, we've got that. We've got that. We'll crop a little bit here. Okay. Come on. Alright. Okay. Now that's got well, we've got a little bit more to do here. Okay, so we'll apply that. Now, let's go back here and let's just make the opacity that 100%. And that gives us a nice golden brown border to our picture. Alright, well, we're going to call that, we'll export that to this with add the NEO to it. Alright, well, let's take all these, what we've all been working on here, and take it to XR, where we can look to see, at least according to XR, how good a job do we do in terms of editing that photo. Okay, now we're in XR. And they have a rating there that is a composite rating of many photographers that they've amalgamated into this rating system. Okay, it turns out that the original photograph we started with wasn't such a bad photo. I mean, it's 42, which is, according to the aesthetics rating, is much better than many happy snaps. Okay, so now we go to, this is the one we did when we colorized everything in NEO, and we edited that. And that, I mean, it was a marked improvement over the original black and white. I mean, 58 is a very good rating. And would say would be a very good amateur photo. Okay, now we're looking at where we use Seedream 4 and to produce a watercolor, and that was better, at least according to the aesthetics rating in XR, was better than this by 5 points, which is probably significantly different. Okay, now we look at the one where we took the straight from banana. We took the banana one. In other words, this guy right here. Well, not this guy. Where we took this guy, and then he's up to 63. Another good step up. And finally, when we take the watercolor and put the sky in it and tuned it up, let's have a look at it since it's supposedly the best one, and put a nice golden frame around it. That had an aesthetic rating of 75, which is getting pretty close to something that's good enough to put in a magazine. Usually I figure something 80 or better is a pretty good photo. At any rate, I hope it was a bit long-winded, this one, but I thought there were a few things that we hadn't done before you might be interested in.